I keep getting the feeling that the Army's getting soft! My drill sergeant sense is tingling, but that can only mean one thing. The United States Army is trying to stop drill sergeants from screaming so much. What? Oh, shh. Let me tell you something about screaming. Grows the economy.
Benefits everybody. Hurts nobody.
Military.com put out an article where they talk to some high-ranking, highfalutin tootin' Joes and a drill sergeant, and guess what the consensus is? Screaming, yelling, talking loudly.
Loud noises!
It's gonna be done. They don't want drill sergeants to scream no more. It's ineffective. It hurts everybody's feelings. And it's not necessary. Wow. Military.com and those involved in this article. How about we read it? We go through it a little bit. Then we break down some of the, I'm sure, gems of knowledge, the jewels that you are bestowing upon us. Me, a lowly drill sergeant, on my screaming. We should do no more. Less screaming, more weightlifting. The Army is reinventing basic training for Gen Z. Already off to a fantastic start because what I want to do as somebody that's training others, getting ready for combat, is change everything that I'm doing, specifically just for a bunch of dummies that don't want to do the things I want to tell them to do. Oh, I don't want to do that thing. I'm not on your level yet. Oh, let me change myself, trainee. Let me change myself for you, the person who doesn't know fuck about shit. Army drill sergeants who model themselves on R. Lee Ermey's ruthless Marine Corps drill instructor in Full Metal Jacket are on their way out the door.
Let me see your war face.
Is it because we want to get out because shit's not going the way it's supposed to be? Or because you're forcing us out because you want to make some drastic change for no fucking reason? Those non-commissioned officers have for generations been a new recruit's first real introduction to the Army, and they have famously been known to scream, curse, and physically punish trainees. But Army planners are hoping that instead of the stereotypical streaming drill sergeants in round brown hats, the new crop of NCOs will act more like strict football coaches. Army planners! Oh, the planners! The people planning all this shit, not the people doing, not me, not the fucking guy doing the shit, but planners, high up in their fucking ivory towers, raining down their little fucking jizz droplets of fucking brain farts for me to change things up when they don't know anything about my job. Have you ever seen a football coach?
You understand me? When we say jump, how high? And you think this is the game?
They're not trying to make the walls sweat. They're not throwing trash cans, Command Sergeant Major Scott Beeson says. All that stuff is slowly going away. Oh, okay, Sergeant Major. Yeah, it's all going away. Oh, yeah, let me just check the box on that fucking form that says, yeah, I did my best and everything's going smooth. And, oh, yeah, I didn't throw a fucking trash can at all. I woke up to that every fucking morning for 10 weeks. And look at me. I came out just fine. You show me a basic training company that doesn't have drill sergeants yelling or throwing shit to make a point, and I will show you the most undisciplined bags of crap ever to get pushed out of BCT. If you had a tracker in every single one of those fucking trainees that got shat out of that fucking company and then pushed out into the fucking military, those little trackers would be like beep, 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 kicked out of the Army, shitbird, failed PT test 2 weeks in, love to know the fucking percentage of dropouts that are in that group. I bet you it's higher than the rest. What's next? I can't have them stand in line in the chow hall and fucking scoot to hurry up that fucking process? Oh, because we gotta give them a half an hour to digest because their little tummy sometimes might get a little upset, huh? Huh, Sergeant Major? Woo. The shift follows substantial changes in the Army's physical training. While recruits may have to endure less screaming at boot camp, the new training has effectively made the fitness and marksmanship requirements for recruits more demanding. More demanding, they say! What happened to the leg tuck? If it's so demanding, why'd we get rid of the leg tuck? Bunch of pansies couldn't even touch their knees to their elbows? Sounds like more of changing the standard because they can't pass it instead of keeping the standard the same and just getting a new crop of Joes that can actually meet it. The loud and brutal drill sergeant was seen as a way to toughen up fresh recruits and prepare them for the harsh realities of war, from the jungles of Vietnam to the post 9/11 battlefields of Afghanistan and Iraq. But that thinking is changing, and many in the service believe a less harsh approach may actually be more effective with recruits. Many believe quantify many for me. Huh? And for those of you that don't know what quantify means, that means give me a fucking number of exactly the many people that are saying this. What is it? What, 10? 10 field grade officers? I bet you didn't go to Fort Benning or Fort Leonard Wood and talk to a bunch of infantry or engineer drill sergeants. I bet you didn't go to any active component infantry units, engineer units, any combat arms from Fort Sill, artillerymen, etc. and ask those active duty fucking units. I bet if you asked them, should the drill sergeant stop screaming, you'd be laughed out of their fucking headquarters. The naysayers who we were initially fighting against didn't believe this new way of doing things. Say it ain't so. Beeson said, gentler isn't the right way to say it. It's just dignity and respect. People desire structure, and we're trying to give it to them. We're just not being assholes when we're doing it. They haven't earned anything yet. They haven't done anything. They haven't even learned the Army values that had respect in it. Have you ever read the Army training manual regarding trainees and how we're supposed to treat them? AR 350-6? I bet you haven't. I bet you haven't. Because that fucking TRADOC manual ties our gosh dang hands behind our backs enough already that now we can't even scream at them. Oh God, heaven forbid we scream at him, I might just lose my fucking rank. You know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like you should train him. It sounds like you're reaping all the benefits of me busting my fucking hump to send you quality soldiers. And you're like, well, if these quality guys don't want to be yelled at anymore, I think I should listen to them and I'll tell the drill sergeants to stop yelling at them. You're sitting in a good position because the blood, sweat, and tears I'm fucking dripping out here training dummies to be like, yes sir, roger that, Sergeant Major Parade, breath salute, and now you're like, well, let's fuck that up. Let's fuck that all up. This generation is very intuitive, Major General John Klein, commander of CIMT, said in an interview with military.com. I think they can see whether somebody is authentic or not. So if drill sergeants are putting on some sort of facade, they'll see right through it. Facade? Do you think that we get respect just because we fucking scream at people? Are you high? Are you freaking high? We get respect! And they listen to us because every day we wake up and show them the amount of knowledge and professionalism we have while executing our military tasks to perfection. In 2020, the Army got rid of the so-called shark attack. So-called. Every fucking troop from Vietnam until now knows exactly what a shark attack is. So don't you dare play it off as some sort of flimsy afterthought hazing thing that some people might have seen or done. You better put some respect on that. Staff Sergeant Chris Osborne, a drill sergeant at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, was named U.S. Army's 2022 Drill Sergeant of the Year. Osborne said she was initially too aggressive with recruits and quickly found out they were turned off by the approach. The aggression, screaming, yelling, the excessive physical punishments, they're not receptive to that at all, Osborne told military.com. Not receptive to that at all? There is a Army value called integrity, drill sergeant, and I think you just shit all over that one. I myself have been brutal when called for to some of these trainees, but it wasn't my choice. They chose that. They didn't want to be smart, they wanted to be strong. They didn't want to be on time, they wanted to be late. They chose their path to success and or failure, and there I was to maintain the standard as you were. And if you're relying too much on yelling, then I don't know how the fuck you became Drill Sergeant of the Year. If you are not using every moment of physical corrective action to then educate those trainees, then you are slipping, Drill Sergeant, because every time that there's corrective action, there is education with it.
Appropriate thing to do when a drill sergeant's freaking talking to you. You understand, brother?
In that correction, we create discipline and we create education. Discipline, education, two sides of the same coin, Drill. I was a lot harsher my first couple of cycles because that's all I knew, and I finally realized that wasn't working. These trainees are not listening to me. They're not getting better, Osborne said. If they're not doing what I want them to do, that's when I had to tone it down. Tone it down and not yelling all together at trainees are two separate things. And guess what, Drill? I'm sure that you had a kill hat like me that is over there sweating in the corner, ready to destroy some souls when those trainees don't listen to you. Oh, you're the quiet drill sergeant. You're the teacher now. You're funging and swinging all along with peaceful generosity until you need me. And then there I am to be the bad guy. So don't act like you're all alone in this and that nobody was screaming at troops when you had the bad guy just waiting to get leashed like a pit bull on a fucking collar, just chucking, waiting to fucking pounce. Now I'm sure you're sitting there and saying, but hey, Drill, is this a big deal? Yes! It is my duty to stand at the gates of basic training and defend them from useless training, bullshit doctrine, useless feelings, articles, and changes, corrupting and weakening the necessary difficulties of our training. And let me finish with this. My guys, I and those that I trained didn't fail in Afghanistan. Those with stars on their collars and in between their chevrons and rockers did. They failed. They let it happen. Not the troops that I trained that stacked tens of thousands of enemy personnel, bodies as high as the fucking sky. Not the ones saving, training Afghanis left and right, as well as their fellow soldiers and those that laid down beside them from other countries. Those troops that we trained didn't fail, so don't ask us to change. Still here to the end, huh? You might want to think about subscribing or hitting the like button. Let everybody know that you liked the video. And if you want to support the channel, check out angry-cops.com where you can get a shirt or some cool stickers. Support the channel. Or go to my Patreon. Giving daily uploads to let you know what's going on here. What I'm thinking in my big old beautiful brain. Alright. See you next time, weirdos. Sounds like you love breakfast, but you don't want to figure out how the sausage is made while I'm out here grinding these turds into fucking meat. I don't know if that makes sense.